Good morning. How are y'all doing? I hope everyone's great on this beautiful day. A little disclaimer here. I was looking towards the window. Here in Louisiana, we have storms coming over. And if you hear a panting noise, my dog's in the closet hiding right now. He's scared to death of thunderstorms. But today I want to talk to you about how do you walk in your purpose walk with purpose? How do we do that? I have 3 steps I do every day. And before I tell you those steps, I want you to see that when this is what's happening to me. Okay, and I like to use the term grace cycles. And I'm going to tell you about a little small one, then what I'm about to tell you, the 3 steps. To me, they're also another grace cycle in my life. But when you walk in your purpose, or when I walk in my purpose, it energizes me, which makes me walk in my purpose more, which energizes me. So I get in this cycle, and I'm telling y'all, I feel so good these days. And part of it is because I'm walking in purpose. That is so important in your life. If you're not walking in purpose, you need to connect with me, and let's talk about it. If you're seeing this on my professional page or on my personal page, and you want to know more about walking in purpose, I have guides on that in my Facebook group, which is where I'm recording this at, where I'm going live. I'm just sharing it over to the other platforms, but the group is called Finding Your Purpose Walk. So if that's what you would like to know, please connect with us. I'd love to have you in the group. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today that I use. The 3 things I do every day, day in and day out. This is what I do to walk in my purpose. This is one of the main things. And this is a cycle. This is one of those grace cycles I talked about. The first thing is to be prepared. Now, what do I mean by that? When I first started this, my preparation was very simple. Something I've done every day, but I get up, I read my Bible, I have devotion with God. I spend that time, and that gets my mind and puts him in the right place in my life, and it gets my mind ready to hear what he's going to say to me. I call what he says to me daily, what I hear, what I should be doing is downloads. And this prepares my heart and my mind for those downloads. Then I do the things that he's placed into my life. Now, starting off, that was things like training. Some of the trainings that have come to me, trainings that I've told the story of how one of the trainings that I recently, back in November, a training that I started, when I first heard about it and talked to the woman who did the training about it, I said, I've invested so much into my business that I just can't justify anymore right now, not at this cost. And I have this bad habit, and as our pastor says, I need to stop it. But I always look at what I'm putting into the business as, that's for me, and it's not for Michael. And I shouldn't be investing this in the business because it's for me. Well, it's not for me. Our business is ours. I may be running part of it right now and the main part of it, but it's our business. So what I invest in the business, I'm investing in us. And I have to keep that mindset. But at that time, my mindset was, this is more money spent on me. And Michael and I talked about it, and I prayed that night. And my prayer was so simple. Lord, if this is for me, please, have her offer me a discount. That doesn't happen, y'all. And this just doesn't happen. And some of you may have heard me tell this story before. And the next morning, we were getting ready for praise and worship in our church. And I had sent my daughter a message on Facebook Messenger. And I went out to share the service. Right before praise and worship starts, I always share the service because our praise and worship is awesome and phenomenal at our church. And I like people not just to hear the message, but to be able to catch that when it comes on. And I went to share, and I saw that I had a message. And I clicked on it. Well, it wasn't from my daughter. It was from this woman. And she said, hey, if you still want the training, you can have it half off. I started crying. I showed it to Michael. He said, what are you waiting for? And I signed up for the training. Not right then. I went into praise and worship, and especially praising the Lord for answering a prayer that I had asked the night before. But that training is one of the things that God's put into my life. So those are what I do. I'm prepared. I spend my time with the Lord in the morning, and then I do the things that he's brought to me to do. And you'll see more of that in step 3. And step two the step two is actively listening. Now, what do I mean by that? I call these downloads. Okay. To me, they're downloads of the Holy Spirit. I am listening. I've put myself into a position to listen, and I do that. They come from the oddest places. Sometimes I'm reading and something stands out at me and I go, oh yeah. And I jot it down real quick. But I want to tell you the next step, I don't just jot it down real quick. I go and do it real quick. But I jot down, what's said. This morning, let me give you an example. This morning, I'm walking through the house and I'm about to go get dressed so I can get ready, to get my day going and get my makeup on for this. And this was around 8 o'clock. I'd been up for a while, but I'm going back to the back of the house. And I make the statement, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today on the live. I don't even have a blog post written. Usually I have a blog post. Sometimes I write it on Wednesday mornings. But anyway, I didn't have anything yet. I hadn't heard. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know, but I hadn't heard what I needed to talk about today. And hadn't heard what my blog post should be on today. And I'm walking through the house and I make that statement. And then I come in here and I do a few things at first. I kind of glance at social media, see if there's anything I need to take care of. And my mentor had asked a question on there. And when I answered the question, I went, oh, there it is. It was just so, right in front of me, what I needed to talk about today, what I needed to write about. Let me see. I want to look real quick. I've written the post out. So I went from, sorry about that. I went from nothing to a 663 word blog post. Now that's phenomenal to me. That's just, and I knew immediately that's what I'm going to talk about today because I try to tie my blog post and my Wednesday in together. So, when I was walking through the house, I have this quote in my blog post. I thought y'all can relate to it, especially those of y'all that have watched Gone with the Wind. I literally said, oh, well, let me just go get dressed and maybe I'll have something by 9:30. And it kind of felt like Scarlett O'Hara. After all, tomorrow's another day, and I know that sounds nonchalant, but I've been in this cycle so long that I know God's not going to leave me high and dry. He had something for me to come tell y'all today. And I knew that, but I just didn't know what it was yet. So anyway, I'm prepared. I've been actively listening and God tells me something. I'm telling y'all, I believe it's straight from God. So I get my download. I know what I'm supposed to talk about. Now I'm going to tell you from experience, if I jot that down or I'm going straight into my office and I type that little bit out and get up and leave, more than likely I'm going to come back later and it's gone. You need to do it while it's fresh. Whatever God's telling you to do, you need to do it while it's fresh. I cannot tell you how many notes I have found. I have say, what in the world? Because I don't act on it very quickly. That is so important. When God gives you a download, when you hear something you need to tell someone, when you hear something, if you're a writer like I am, if you're a speaker like I am, any of that, God tells you something, you need to heed it and you need to do it. You need to do it quickly. I sat down with that one little idea about being, these. Okay, sorry, I lost service. So anyway, I don't know what happened, what y'all saw, what you didn't see, but literally I lost service for a few minutes. We're kind of having some issues here. But when God gives you that download, immediately go write it out, speak it, whatever you need to do it then. But I look at my notes and I'm like, what in the world? It's gibberish to me. It's not that I don't understand the words. It's that I don't understand the concept behind the words because I didn't act on it as soon as it was given to me. So what we need to do is, we need to be prepared, actively listen, and do it. Now, step 3 puts you back into the cycle for step 1. Okay? Step 3 is part of the preparation because as you are obedient, as you write down what he's telling you to write, as you speak what he's telling you to speak, that's part of the preparation for the next time that he downloads. Because if you get in this cycle, you're going to stay in this cycle. Okay? I don't ever panic if I don't have, if it's time for me to go live, let's say, a few minutes or 30 minutes or so, and I don't have anything, I don't panic, y'all. I just don't. I know it's going to come because I keep myself in this cycle. Okay? I prep, I actively listen, and then I do it. And then that leads to that doing it is part of the preparation for the next day or the next time that I have to, listen. I'm actively listening. That all just kind of flows together. Now, I want to say this. There may be some of you out there may be saying, oh, this sounds kind of out there, maybe a little woohoo or something like that. It's not. Who gave you your purpose? Who gave you your gifts? Who gave you your passions? If he gave these things to you, is he not going to equip you? Is he not going to show you how to use your gifts? Is he not going to show you how to walk in your purpose? And is he not going to fulfill those passions in your life? You have to look to your Creator. You have to look to God because he's behind every bit of this. I want you to do me a favor. You know your purpose. If you don't, get in the group, do the finding your purpose. Go out there and do those guides. But once you find your purpose, do what I'm telling you to do. Prepare. Figure out what your preparation is. I believe if you're a Christian, your preparation should be at some time during the day what works for you, spending time with the Lord. I like to do it first thing in the morning because then I'm ready to listen. I'm more in tune. That's me. But spend your time with the Lord daily. Start actively listening. An idea comes into your head, it's not accident. Now, I mean, if it's a good idea, bad ideas, that's not an accident either. Please don't act on those. But you get an idea of how you can help someone through your purpose. Great. So you're starting to hear. Do it. Do it. If I hadn't have done it, this group wouldn't be here. So you do it, and then after that, you start again. You just keep going. Every day, prep, listen, actively listen. Be wanting to hear that voice. You got to actively listen in your spirit, in your heart. Then once you hear it, you act on it. Do this for about a month and come back and tell me what happens. If you're already doing something similar to this, comment. Let me know what you're doing. I really want to hear. I'm going to get off of here for now. I got to look and see what this crazy video looks like because I know we went down for just a few minutes. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I see Dixie's on, Heather's on. I appreciate both of y'all. Y'all just let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think about this today. Does this sound like hoo-hoo to y'all, or does it sound like something that as a Christian you believe, that you truly believe that this is how God operates in helping us walk in our purpose? Again, I love y'all. Take care. If you're in Northeast Louisiana, be careful today. We do have storms rolling through most of the day. Don't do like my dog and get in the closet back here. God's going to protect us and take care of us. Again,